There's a midrash that after Moshe fled from Egypt, after he killed the Egyptian, and he comes to Midian, and he sees the daughters of Yisro, or Shebers, are being attacked. And the midrash tells us when they were being attacked, it's not just physically being attacked, they're going to be raped by the shepherds. Moshe immediately comes to their assistance, drives off the shepherds, waters the flock. They come back to the father, and the father says to them, "Why are you home so early?" And they say to the father, "Ish Mitzri, Egyptian man saved us." So the midrash tells us, "Vatovonu el ruel aviyad vatoman ish Mitzri hitziloni," that an Egyptian man saved us. So the midrash asks, "Ish Mitzri hoye Moshe?" Moshe Rabbeinu, did he look like an Egyptian? What do you mean? He's referred to as Ish Mitzri. Eloi lule Ish Mitzri shorak Moshe. What they meant to say, that if not for the Egyptian who Moshe had killed, lo yod nichlas leMidyan, he had no reason to flee to Midian. Why did he flee to Midian? He was a fugitive. He was a fugitive because he killed the Egyptian. What is it analogous to? Moshe lechot shenshocho orod. A person was bitten by a poisonous lizard. He runs to the river to rinse the wound, to squeeze out the venom which is in the wound. He enters into the river. He sees a young child drowning in the river. And he immediately extends his hand. He pulls the child out of the river. So the young child says to the man, he says, "If not for you, I would have died. I would have drowned." So the person says to him, "Anilo itzilticho." He says, "I don't receive full credit for this." It's as a result of the lizard bite. If I wouldn't have been bitten by the lizard, wouldn't be in the river. So it's only because I was bitten by the lizard. So you have to understand, it's because of the lizard, I'm not fully the one who brought this about. Therefore, somehow it's attributed to the lizard. Mm-hmm. The daughters of Yisro said to Moshe, we want to thank you. You saved us from the shepherds. It's the Egyptian who I killed. He's the one who saved you. What was the cause of Moshe that he fled, that he came into our community? Ishmitri Shehorag. It's the Egyptian which he had killed. So it was due to the Egyptian that he was a Midian. So it's interesting. The Chazal tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu orchestrates all events. And we never understand why things happen. And it's a puzzle. But when you follow the lines and you see where they begin, where they end, things start making sense. What was the story? Why did Moshe flee from Egypt? He killed the Egyptian. But why did he kill the Egyptian? Because the Egyptian had raped a Jewish woman, the only Jewish woman 210 years who was raped by an Egyptian. And why was he attracted to her? Because she was Shlomas Bas Divri. So Chazal tells Pitla Dvorim, she was very friendly. And because she attracted attention through her friendliness, the Egyptian's eye came upon her, and he was attracted to her. And therefore, ultimately, he came up with this ploy to rape her. Now, every woman who's friendly with another man, or he shows certain social graces, it ends up with a rape. So why was she raped? Evidently, it was because of what she did, but as I said, the answer is because ultimately Moshe had to kill this Egyptian. Why did he have to kill this Egyptian? Because he had to flee to Midian. And he had to flee to Midian to save the daughters of Yisro. Why did he have to save the daughters of Yisro? Because Yisro said to his daughters, "One, you should have invited him home. Don't you realize he's a potential match for one of you?" The Tzipora married Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe had to marry Tzipora. Because the Maral says, why did Moshe marry a convert? Moshe, based on who he was, he should have married a woman with the greatest pedigree in Klal Yisrael. So the Maral explains, because Moshe Rabbeinu was Shoko Keneged Yisrael, his neshama was the equivalent of the entire Jewish people. Every woman, being of a tribe, she has a certain limitation because her spiritual makeup is geared and programmed based on that limitation. It's limited to that Shevet, the tribe which she comes from. Moshe Rabbeinu's neshama was all-encompassing. So the woman who he had was compatible with couldn't have limitation. A Gioris, she was a convert, so she has no identity. She's like a blank slate. Therefore, Tzipor was the only one who was qualified to be the wife of Moshe Rabbeinu. So all this, and that's what he said to her. The reason why I saved you has nothing to do with me. I'm only here because I killed the Egyptian. But why? I mean, he was the adopted prince, but in Paro's palace. He fled. What was the cost factor? Didn't make a difference. Ultimately, Moshe Rabbeinu had to be obedient to marry Tzipora. That's what he had to be. And as a result of that, therefore, and that's what he says, so very often, so what we had once said, doesn't the Aviram inform the Moshe Rabbeinu? They were bad people. No question they were bad people. But factually, that's why he had to flee. Because they informed on him. Now, what was the value of that fleeing? The value of that fleeing was that because he was a fugitive, he was able to assume a level of spirituality that when he supplicated Hashem, at the time of the Egel, Hashem listened to his tefillah. So to a certain degree, he had a debt of gratitude for Das Navim, although that was not their intent. But since the outgrowth of what they had done, so they